Sunday afternoon baseball is next. And a good Sunday afternoon, everybody. We welcome you into our live broadcast of Texas League Baseball. And now here is the voice of Texas League Baseball, the one, the only, John Baker. Well, thank you, Bob. How is everybody doing on this fine evening? I bet everybody is doing great. Well, we welcome you into our live Texas League broadcast on this Sunday afternoon. It is the final game for our 6-game set against the visiting San Antonio Missions and your Midland Rockhounds. Well, I'm going to say, going to be a nice Sunday afternoon, and so far it is nice, beautiful, clear, and hot. Might have a few passing clouds, but it'll be otherwise generally sunny as we go through the afternoon of our broadcast here in Midland. Well, it is the last game of the year in Midland, and so far we are, after today, heading back home to take on Corpus Christi Tuesday through Thursday, and then Friday through Sunday, we're up in Corpus Christi, and then we head to Wichita right after that Sunday game. Well, anyway, first half will conclude after the 6th and final game there at Wichita, and then it's 4 days to have off, which we are super excited as we have ourselves a 4-day vacation, which that will be pretty good. So anyway, I'm joined in the booth by my partner, Bob, and so far, hope Ann is doing pretty good. Is she still over at her sister's house? Yeah, she's still over her sister's house, and so far, she is watching a broadcast. She just texted me saying, "Oh, is John Baker coming in to do today's broadcast?" And so far, I told her yes. He's going to be on in just a few moments. So far, going to be a pretty good day today as we get this one going. And did she watch last night's ball game? Yeah, she did. She watched the ball game, and she was super surprised that San Antonio had pulled a win on Midland, and they literally won the ball game by a final score of 5-3. And San Antonio winning their 44th of the season, and today will be determined if they win number 45 or if Midland gets a few more inches closer. And we'll take a look at the AA standings here in the Texas League. You could go ahead and do this part, John, because everybody wants to know where our standings are here today. Well, thank you, Bob, but don't mind if I do. But anyway, we look at San Antonio. They're 44-29. Midland at 41-34 of the year. And Frisco just a game and a half against Midland. They are 5.5 against the San Antonio Missions. Amarillo 34-40, Corpus Christi 25-49, which today, if they lose against Northwest Arkansas, that will be really, that'd be really, really bad to see them lose. But anyway, it is the final games for everybody. And, some people may be on the road close to the second half, but anyway, first half is almost finished here. And so far, San Antonio's schedule looks like this. They'll have 3 more games at home, which we do go back to San Antonio at Wolf Stadium after today's game here in Midland. And then we'll head off to Corpus Christi and Wichita right after that. And then first half will definitely wrap up. Yeah, I got to say, John, it has been pretty good as San Antonio may have a chance of claiming the first half South Division playoff, get a ticket up into the playoff rounds. And so far, we know that Midland has definitely got a playoff spot, and San Antonio definitely has a good chance of a playoff spot this year. But anyway, these games are very important as we get going in this one. Got to say, Bob, absolutely right. And so far, it all matters when it comes down to the first half, when the first half concludes, and when the start of the second half normally starts. But evidently, after 4 days of being off, San Antonio will start the second half with a leadoff 3 against Amarillo and 6 more games against Midland. And that will pretty much be it for the Rockhounds meeting against San Antonio this year. And so far, after that, we'll head to Frisco. Then we're back home to take on the visiting Springfield Cardinals. And then we're up in Tulsa right after that, taking on 6 games against the Tulsa Drillers. We're back to take on Amarillo, and this will be and then we are back up in Frisco for another 6 games, and then we're coming back to conclude a 6-game homestand, and which that will be the season finale for San Antonio against Corpus Christi. And then we will conclude the regular season in Springfield. And so far, that will pretty much be the end of 2025. Now, say if San Antonio gets into the playoffs, which I know they will, pretty much they will go a little bit longer. They'll have the playoff rounds, the best of 3, and then it'll be 3 more games to determine a championship series winner. And so far, going to be pretty good. Yeah, I got to say, John, it absolutely will. And we just are super excited for what we're fixing to see in this year. And hopefully, may the best team win this year. Yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, we're just about set to go on the Sunday afternoon of Texas League Baseball. And yeah, we are now going to go ahead and take it down on the field. It's going to be a beautiful hot day today. Sun is bearing down on us. And just look how beautiful it is here in Midland, Texas. We got the bank over there. That'd be the big building right to the right center field area. That will be Momentum Bank right there. And so far, they are proud sponsoring the Franco Park area. Here is Gunnar Hogland as he'll get the starting assignment for Midland here this afternoon. What do we know, Bob? 4-seam slider, changeup, and a sweeper, but the weapon of choice is that nasty changeup. So you literally got to watch this guy because he can literally strike you out in an instant. The left fielder is Albert Fabian. As we're set to go for San Antonio here this afternoon, the first pitch is in for a cold strike, and we are underway here at 1 o'clock. Beautiful day. And yeah, look at that blue sky. Absolutely love it. Hardly a cloud in the sky, but fans up in San Antonio are saying that they could get rain and thunderstorms by the late afternoon into the early evening hours. Everything coming from the coast of Corpus Christi and Galveston, which that is pretty good. I mean, San Antonio needs the rain in order for us to have a pretty good fireworks week that we celebrate 4th of July weekend, and so far many other things going on. No balls to 2 strikes. And the count now 0-2 to left fielder Fabian.
That's a ball.
And that is outside. The count now 1-2.
2 strikes.
Midland wearing their road oranges. San Antonio wearing their grays. So far all week it's been them wearing their road grays. That one's high fly in the air up the left, and that will be the first out here in the top of the first inning. Let's go ahead and give the starting lineups for our visitors here today. Fabian Salas Mears would be the leadoff three. Castañon, Campbell, Roeder in middle. Rojas, Cedeno, and DeVries will round out the batting order today for the San Antonio Missions. Ethan Salas, the catcher, coming up now. So far, got winds blowing from the center field area, which that is pretty good. The flags are blowing today, which that's pretty nice. No balls, one strike. And that's a ground ball. Hit to second, to first, and they get them easily. And there's two down.
Batting third, the center fielder, number 14, Joshua Mears.
Well, the center fielder coming in. Set to go is Joshua Mears. Last night, San Antonio winning their 44th in a final score of 5-3 against Midland. And so far, pretty good on that. One ball, one strike, the count now to the center fielder, Mears. So far tonight, Northwest Arkansas taking on Corpus Christi there at Bayfront Park. Tulsa and Frisco, Arkansas and Amarillo will start later this evening. And the pitch is outside. The count now 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on for San Antonio. And that's going to be right there. That is down and in for a base hit to right. And San Antonio's got a 2-out base runner. That is Joshua Mears there at first base. Marcos Castañon coming in now. And that's going to be another base hit. Look at that. And another leadoff base hit. Well, equal 2. So we got first and second now. And that'll bring up Jacob Campbell as he'll step in. And the pitch is inside, and the count now 0-1 to the right fielder, Jacob Campbell. Boy, kids enjoying their summer vacation. Just remember when I was enjoying my summer vacation, we'd always go and have a good time. We're out of school for 2 months. We'd head to my grandma's and grandpa's hometown of Brownwood. We'd jump in the swimming pool. We'd have a lot of good times. But even though my grandpa has been gone for 6 years already, passed away on March 12th, 2019. And you know what? He was a great granddad. Everybody knows my grandpa. Bob was, he's got the same name as you. Bob Baker was a pretty good granddad. Yeah, he sure was. I bet he loved all you and the kids and the grandkids and his sons and his daughters and everything. Well, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. We're heading to the bottom of the first, and it is no score through the top half of 1. Rockhounds coming to bat. Now set to go for the bottom of the first right now for the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, a left-hander like Jagger Haynes is getting the call today as he will pitch for San Antonio on the mound for the bottom of the first inning as we're set and lead off the first three runners for Midland. Shortstop Bell Angeles coming in as we are getting ready. Here is the first pitch to him, and that's a ball outside. The count now 1-0. You got Springfield at Wichita, Northwest Arkansas at Corpus Christi, Tulsa at Frisco, and Arkansas at Amarillo. San Antonio and Midland going head-to-head right now, which also the Springfield Cardinals going up against the wind surge this afternoon there at the porch. 1-1. And that one is a high pop-up. Straightaway center. Cedeno getting there, and he'll make the catch. And there's one down. With that, let's give the Rockhounds starting lineups. Angeles, Halter, and Nankill will be the leadoff three. Kurtz, Trinkle, Schwartz, middle. Bolt, Swift, and MacGyver round out the batting order for the Rockhounds here this afternoon. Sorry for my little stutteriness. Here is second baseman Colby Halter as he'll come in. And he's going to power that one out of here deep to right center. And that one, you can say goodbye to it. It's not coming back ever. So the Rockhounds will take a 1-0 early lead by Colby Halter, a 427 over 103.1 mile per hour exit velocity. And that baseball just sailed right out of here. He whooped the stuffing out of it. So far now it's Midland up by 1-0 against San Antonio. And so far a pretty good pitcher stroll today. Jagger Haynes coming in for San Antonio, and the pitcher for Midland to start off. And the pitch is right there and in for a strike, and it's the count now 0-2. Boy, the Springfield Cardinals and Wichita, they are down to the top of the seventh inning right now, and Wichita is in the lead by just a few runs. So that's going to be a base hit up for Nate Nankill. One out base runner. Yep, and he's having a good time just dancing out there. Here is Nick Kurtz. High pop up. Don't have to move anywhere. And that is caught on the home plate area, as that will be out number 2. So Kurtz does not have a good time on that batter's play. There's a left fielder, Caden Trinkle. Trinkle coming in. And that is, we get going here, and that's going to be in for a strike. The count now at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 on, 1 in to score after that solo shot. And the pitch. Called third strike. Got him at the knees. And that will pretty much do it. But Colby Halter gets the first in run for Midland. And it's 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left for the Rockhounds. We head now top of the second inning. And Midland leads this one by 1. Cole Roederer, Rojas, and Cedeno will lead it off for San Antonio in the top of the second inning when we come back. Top half of the second inning for San Antonio right now in the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Now here is Cole Roederer as he'll stand in. The tying run for San Antonio now approaches the plate. The go-ahead on the on-deck circle. That one outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in the Permian Basin, which that's pretty nice. That one ground ball out of play, foul, and it's 1-1. Just love coming home. This has been my home for a long time. Even though when I first lived in Midland was back when I was about 1 year to 20 years. So far, pretty good on that.
That's a ball.
Well, it looks like Wichita has got a pretty good advantage against Springfield. They're top half of the 8th inning right now, and so far they are pretty much having a pretty good sizable lead on Springfield. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cole Roederer as he comes in, takes ball 3, and the count now 3-2. And on deck is third baseman Yendry Rojas. Blue sky, perfect conditions for outdoor activities. And that's going to be blistered high in the air. Both outfielders try to give a chase, and they can't get to it. And the designated hitter will have a no-out double, and that is Cole Roederer. And the next batter up is Yendry Rojas. Tying run at second. The go-ahead now standing at the plate. That's going to be high fly in the air, and they're going to wait for it. Here he goes. He's tagging up. And right on to third as he steals the base. And that will put the tying run 90 feet from scoring in. William Cedeno could get it going, as if he could get one far out in the outfield, he could bring home that runner from 90 feet from third base, which that would also be a good thing. William Cedeno comes in, and he'll hit that one out of play, foul. The count now 0-1. Top of the second inning here in Midland. Final game of the year in this beautiful town. Absolutely love Midland. Love how it is. Just nice restaurants like Taco Villa, Texas Burger, and Rose's. $7.99 Taco Tuesdays there at Rose's on the Tortilla Factory. That one is high fly in the air. And here he goes. He is running and is in to score as the tying run. And it's a 1-1 ball game here in the top of the second inning. So what a great idea to come in, get a few sacrifices. And so far, it was basically going to second and third and tying it up at the 1-1 here in the top of the second inning. So Leo Dallas DeVries comes in. He comes as a strike. The count now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to the 9-hole batter. And that's going to be crushed. That is high and right to the warning track, as that will end the inning. So 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We go to the bottom half of 2, and we are tied 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the second inning for Midland. We're back here right after this for our proud sponsor, Taco Villa. Spice your life. About set to go for the bottom half of 2 right now, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Nick Schwartz coming in now, 6, 7, and 8. 2 up here in the home half of 2 for Midland. That one's skied up to left field, and Fabian has it, and there's one down.
Batting 7, the center fielder, Henry.
So that'll bring up the center fielder, Henry Bolt, as he comes in, ready to go. And he'll swing and miss at that one. The count now, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to him. That one slow but foul.
Nope, that's foul.
Count now, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. That one is gone. High in the air, up to right, and say bye-bye. Jeez Louise, that's their second home run today, and Henry Bolt will be the second home run for Midland. And they are determined to win this one and let San Antonio go home packing. Yep, and so far today we are going home packing, John. Yep, for sure. 370 foot, 95 and 8 mile per hour exit velocity. Which that's pretty good. Here's the pitch. That's right there and in for a strike, and the count now 0-1 to the hot corner third baseman Drew Swift. Well, it's bottom half of the 8th there in Wichita there at the porch. So far it is pretty good sizable lead for the Wichita wind surge. It is 6-3 right now.
The catcher, Willie.
But evidently, oh, look at there, it updated, so it's now a 7-4 ball game there in Wichita. That is right there, the count now at no balls and 1 strike to the catcher, Willie McIver. McIver coming in and set to go here in this one. Here's the pitch. That one is blistered. That one deep to left field, and that is going to get over the wall, and they'll put runners at second and third on a ground rule double. And Midland still 1 out, now 2-1. And the next batter up is Arabel Angeles, leading off the top of the Rockhounds batting order. San Antonio in danger. A base hit would bring in 2 more if it goes up to the outfield wall. Angeles was a pop out. He's 0 for 1 here today. And the pitch is outside. The count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Arabel Angeles.
That's a balk.
And oh my goodness, what the heck?
Move on up.
He's got a balk. And that's not good. I don't think that would be something that you would be worthy of doing first time around. That's high fly in the air. And the left fielder Fabian has it. And the 4th run for Midland is in to score. So pretty good right there as they come in, and they have a 3-run lead against San Antonio. Now here is second baseman Colby Halter. Halter coming in, ready to go. And the pitch. Outside for a ball. The count now 1-0. So I'm guessing if you get a little bit close, evidently it is a balk, an automatic balk, and you get awarded first base, which that is pretty nice. Here's the 2-0, and right there and in for a strike. The count now 2-1. Rockhounds 4, San Antonio 1. The Mission's down by 3 here in the early going of this ball game. That is a changeup out and count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a pitch. And that one is fouled. And the count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Well, 3 runs come in across the score for Midland. And we are heading to the 3rd inning for San Antonio. The Rockhounds lead it 4-1. Fabian Salas Mears will lead it off for the 3rd inning when we come back. Back here for the top of the third inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. The left fielder, Albert Fabian, coming in. 4-1 score here for Midland.
Ball one.
And that's going to be down and in for a ball. The count now 1-0. Boy, San Antonio first see a balk in a long time, and that'll be the changeup. The count now 1-1. We've got a great crowd here today, right, Bob? Got to say, absolutely right. Here in our last day in Midland, your hometown.
Ball two.
And that's ball 2. So 2-1. You know, not just Midland itself has been my home, but also West Odessa and Odessa in general has been also my home. That is right there. And that is safely on for an infield single. And that will go down for a base hit. Here is Ethan Salas as he comes in. Got a base runner at first, nobody out. Top of the third, and that is outside. The count now 0-1. Salas was a ground out. He's 0 for 1 of the day. And here's the pitch. That one skied to center field. Center fielder will move under it, and he'll make the play for the out. So there's one down.
The center fielder, number 14, Joshua Mears.
You know, Joshua Mears coming in. We're set to go here in this one. And a pitch. That's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-1. And a pitch. That one skied high in the air. And that is off the wall. And runners are going to go second and third. Now the tying run coming up now to the plate.
First baseman,
Marcos Castañon will be that tying run. So pretty good line drive, a base hit in that one. And that one is high and outside for a ball. The count now 1-0. Castañon, the first baseman, 1 for 1, a single. So pretty good day today.
That's a ball.
And that is outside. The count now 2 balls. And no strikes. Here's the pitch. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Right fielder Jacob Campbell waits on deck as the go-ahead run. And that's in for a strike. The count now 3-1. Another ball will load up bases. And that's in for the full count now at 3-2.
3-2.
Boy, and Castañon has a pretty good hold-up, and so far he has done pretty good in this one. And called third strike. Got him down looking, and that's the second strikeout for Gunnar Hogland. Jacob Campbell, the right fielder, comes in for San Antonio. And the pitch. That one skied high in the air up to right field. And moving under is the right fielder as he'll make the play to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left for San Antonio. 3.5. Midland leads it 4-1. Nate Nankiel, Kurtz, and Trinkle will lead it off in the bottom of the third inning. And it's a Rockhounds 4-1 lead over San Antonio. Well, we're bottom half of the third inning as we get you back right now to baseball with the Rockhounds. Thank you, Bob. Nate Nankiel coming in now on the 4-1 Sunday afternoon. That's a ground ball. Hit to Cedeno and flip it to Castañon. And
Now
there's one
batting,
down.
first baseman, Nick Kerr.
So pretty good right there. Here's first baseman Nick Kurtz as he comes in. Is ready to go. Here's the pitch. That one high in the air and foul. So the count now 0-1. As we're about ready on this one. Here's the pitch. And that's an inside strike. The count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. And there is 2 down. Left fielder Caden Trinkle coming in. He's 0 for 1, a strikeout.
Trinkle.
And a pitch is in for a strike. And the count now 0-1. Still a 3-run lead for Midland. San Antonio trailing those 3 runs.
Ball, that's out.
That is outside. The count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nope, 1 strike. I do apologize about that. So here's 1-1. And that's out of play. Now the count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And the pitch. That one skied to left field. And that is going to get down for a base hit. Going to first, going to second. And he's not stopping. He wants 3. And he's in safely. That's a 2-out triple. Wow. He got in there. And he got it right where he wanted it. Yep, sure did. So far, pretty good on that. Safely at third on that play. Here is Nick Schwartz. Hits that one high in the air up to left field. And no chance there to score in that run as they'll leave him stranded. No runs on a hit, no errors. 1 left on for Midland. We now head to the 4th inning. Midland leads this one 4-1 against San Antonio. Cole Roederer, Rohan Antonio in this one. All right, welcome back to Baseball with the Rockhounds. We lead off the top of the fourth inning with Cole Roederer as he stands in for San Antonio. Take it away, John. Thank you, Bob. And gotta say, pretty good as we start the top of four. And Gunnar Hogland is having a talk with home plate umpire Tom Smith. So far, didn't like that fact that he got that call, but evidently didn't go his way, and that's count now 1-1 strike. So far, starting to see a cloud up there to right field. So, yep, pretty good day for baseball, and that's going to be down and outside. The count now 2-1. Well, balks this ball game. San Antonio seen one balk. Evidently, pretty good on that one. That one driven high in the air up to right field. Watch it get, and it is off the wall. And that's a no-out double for Cole Roederer, his second one of the day. And that'll bring up Yendry Rojas as he comes in. Well, we look at it, and so far that was a pretty good, well-defined base hit. And that'll bring up Yendry Rojas, the 7-hole batter. He's also the third baseman for the Missions. That one fouled off, and the count now at 0-1. 0 for 1 fly out last time up. No balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner at second. And the pitch. That is right there out of play again. Fouls it off the same area as he did back in the first time. And the pitch. Ready to go. 0-2. That one right there. And that's a ground ball. And that'll get first and third now.
Now batting, second baseman, Nerwillian Cedeno.
So that'll bring up Nerwillian Cedeno as he comes to the plate. First and third, nobody out. He is the tying run for San Antonio, and that's going to be right there. Line drive. That's a base hit. So now San Antonio getting a run in to score by Nerwillian Cedeno, who had a single on that base hit. Now putting first and second, which that is also pretty good. That'll bring up Leo Dallas DeVries. Tying run at first, the go-ahead right now at the plate. And he's going to pop that one high in the air, and there goes a runner from second. And is across, and he is safely there at third. Boy, almost a kickoff. And that would have been 2 outs. Now first and third, left fielder Albert Fabian coming in. And a pitch. That one's high fly in the air. Deep to right field. That will be enough for a RBI. And there he goes from the third base area. And that's a 1-run ball game. Well, San Antonio getting 2 runs in this half inning. And it's now a Midland 4-3 game here today. Ethan Salas coming in, 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out. And the pitch. That one is a high pop-up, up to straightaway center. The right fielder will come in and reinforce that center field area, and that will do for this half inning. It's over. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We now had 4.5. Midland leads 4-3 against San Antonio. Going back here is Henry, Bolt, Swift, and MacGyver. Round out for the bottom half of the fourth inning for the Rockhounds when we come back. Bottom half of the fourth inning for Midland right now, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, that'll lead off Henry Bolt coming in this ball game. Takes a swing and a miss. The count now is a changeup, and that is 0-1. Bottom of four, underway this game and stuff, and that one is going to be hit high in the air up to right field, and that will drop foul, and the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one behind the backstop and still holding on at 0-2. Kids coming to the ball game, and yes, a lot of people here today. That's a swing and a miss right there, and that's one down. Bolt is struck out. Don't think he really liked that one, but he talks to home plate umpire, whatever his name was. Here is Drew Swift, as he'll take an inside strike. The count now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch right there, straightaway center. That's a base hit. Boy, and so far Midland getting after it today. And if they try to win this one here this afternoon, which apparently they probably might, then that'll put the Midland Rockhounds, do apologize about that. The Rockhounds would be 42, and San Antonio would be 44-30 if they lose here today.
Ball 1.
Slider down and in, 1 ball, no strikes to Willie McIver, today's Rockhounds catcher. He was the double in this ball game. It's 1 for 1. And the 1-0, that's a swing and a miss right there. The count now 1-1.
1 strike.
1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, the slider. And it's 1-2.
2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. And they're 2 down. Irabel Angeles was a sacrifice fly, RBI 0 for 1. And a pitch. It's right there, change up. The count now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to him. Here's a pitch. And that one's popped up high in the air. And that will drift out of play, foul. And so far, you see that baseball just going up and down. And somebody's going to get that one for a souvenir. That one's going to be a liner. That's going to be fair. And Mears getting after it. And it's now a 5-3 lead as Midland will score in a run on Arabelle Angeles as he's got a double. And the Rockhounds up by 2 runs. Colby Halter coming in. 2 out, runner is second. 5-3. And that's up top. And the count now 1-0. Home run, an RBI run, 1 for 2 by Halter. Great crowd here this afternoon. Midland leads 2 against San Antonio, and so far they are doing pretty good, trying to propel the win today. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. That one high in the air, skied to the second baseman. Cedeno will get it, and that ends the inning. 1 run, a couple of hits, no errors, 1 left on for Midland. And it's on now to the 5th inning. The Rockhounds lead this one 5-3. And we're back here as top of the 5th. Joshua Mears, Castellana Campbell will lead it off in the 5th inning. Top of the fifth inning for San Antonio. We are back with Rockhounds baseball. Thank you, Bob. And Joshua Mears coming in. And we are middle half of this ball game here today in Midland. That one is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Just a lovely day it is. And that one is crushed up to left field. How do you like that? And San Antonio still trailing a game by a run. It's now a 5-4 ball game, and now San Antonio getting a home run back. So do you think they could get win number 45, maybe? It's possible, Bob. 402 foot, 103.5 mile per hour. And so far, pretty good on that one. Marcos Castañon coming in. He'll take a strike inside. And it's the count now, 0-1. 1 for 2 single today for San Antonio. Tying run is Castañon. That one high pop-up right there. Could be an infield fly, or it could definitely be not an infield fly. That'll bring up the next batter up, Jacob Campbell. Right fielder today for San Antonio. And the pitch. That one high inside, and the count now at 0-1. Beautiful blue sky, sun beating down on us, hot temperatures. Sunday afternoon, and that's going to be right there. Line drive, that's a base hit. Now got the tying run, just sitting at first base.
Now batting, designated hitter, Cole Roederer.
So that'll bring up Cole Roederer as he comes in. And that's ball 1. The count now 1-0. 2 for 2 doubles. Should I say 2 doubles, 2 runs by the designated hitter today for San Antonio, Cole Roederer. And the pitch is right outside. The count now 2-0. You know, Bob, we have 3 ball games left. And then, well, it will be Ben Gelman to lead off 3 in Corpus Christi and 6 in Wichita. Right after that, that's a line drive, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Here comes the runner, not in time, and now the tying run at third, the go-ahead at second. Roederer has now 3 doubles of this ball game, and so far going pretty good. Well, time now is being called as here comes the manager as he'll come out of the dugout and get his starter out of the ball game. And so far, he is responsible for the 2 runners left on second and third.
Now pitching for the Rockhounds.
So the Rockhounds will have the left-hander Ben Bowden come in as he'll be the first one in relief to pitch for Midland. So 4-seam splitter, slider, and a 2-seam fastball. He'll get everything going for the Rockhounds here in the top of the 5th inning. 2 on, 1 away. 5-4 ball game. Midland leads 1 against the San Antonio Missions. And that's the count now, 0-1. First pitch in by Ben Bowden to the third baseman, Yendry Rojas, who is a 1 for 2 single. So far, pretty good. Here's the pitch. That is down and outside. The count now at 1-1. So that'll even things up. You know, don't forget our ball teams, Northwest Arkansas and Corpus Christi, Tulsa and Frisco. Arkansas and Amarillo will start this evening.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The ball game there in Corpus Christi will start at 4:05 or 5:05, which that's a little while from now. That's called third strike, and that is 2 down. Don't forget, it'd be 5:05 for Northwest Arkansas taking on their last game against Corpus Christi. 7:05 starts for both Tulsa and Frisco, Arkansas and Amarillo. So that'll bring in Norwillie and Cedeno, 1-for-1 RBI single in the fourth. On 1 the count now to the second baseman. Cedeno's got 2 on, 2 out. And that's going to be high flying in the air deep to left field. And the left fielder finally puts the inning to bed. And that will be the side retired. So 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 2 left. And we're now heading 5.5 in this ball game. It's now a 5-4 Rockhounds lead. Still hanging on by 1. So we go bottom of the 5th as Mankill, Kurtz, and Trinkle will lead it off the bottom of 5 when we return. Well, about set to go for the bottom half of the fifth inning for Midland right now, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Nate Nankill will lead it off 3-4-5, due up against Jagger Haynes
Ball one,
in the
no
bottom
strikes.
half of the fifth inning. Midland leading 1 run in this ballgame, 5-4 against San Antonio. Mission's trying to claw back in this one and try to get a 45th win of the season, which that would be pretty good. Here's 1-1. Right outside the count now, 2 balls and 1 strike.
We got 2 balls, 1 strike.
2 balls, 1 strike in this broadcast. In the bottom of 5. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be driven up nicely, and that is a base hit to right field. So that will be a no-out single for Nate Nankill.
Now batting, the first baseman, Nick Kurtz.
Well, that'll bring up the first baseman, Nick Kurtz. Kurtz coming in, ready to go in the pitch. And that one's going to be blistered high in the air. And that one's going to hit the fence. And still trying to get something going. And that's an RBI triple for Nick Kurtz. And now they still lead by 2. It's now 6-4 Midland. Well, got to say that we are just probably an hour away. It's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's going to be right there in the end for a strike. The count now 0-1. Left fielder Caden Trinkle, 1 for 2 and a triple. Speaking about what time it is, what time is it anyway? Well, I think it's about close to 3. It's about 2:45 here in this broadcast. Oh, okay, so my mistake and apologies there. 0-2. Right there and now to play, and the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch.
That's a block.
And he got a ball.
Move up 90 feet.
Now that's going to put the run in to score. And Midland having a 7-4 lead now. Second balk of the afternoon for San Antonio, and really don't think that the pitcher, Jagger Haynes, really likes that.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Nick Schwartz.
Well, the designated hitter is Nick Schwartz as he comes in. Midland now lead 3 after 2 RBIs and a balk. Getting called on Jagger Haynes. That's an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, and the pitch. Right there in the end for a strike. The count now 0-2. Could be Jagger Haynes' last inning of work in this ball game. Jeez, and what is Corpus Christi wearing? That's right there. Stopped by DeVries. Give it to Castagnon there at first. And there is 2 down.
The center fielder, Henry Bulls.
They are wearing a pink uniform in today's game. That'll bring up Henry Bulls. He strides up now for Midland. 2 down. And nobody on after a balk and 2 RBIs for the Rockhounds. The 0-1. That one high in the air up to right field. Campbell getting after it, and he'll make the play to end the inning. Into 5. 3 runs come in across the score. And so far, now the Rockhounds lead by 7-4 against San Antonio. Top of the 6th, DeVries, Fabian, and Salas will lead it off when we come back in this broadcast. It's Texas League Baseball. Our score is Midland 7 and San Antonio 4. All right, we lead it off the top of the sixth inning for San Antonio. Right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. 9-1-2 due up against Ben Bowden. As he hits that one, he comes out and he whacks it right to left field. And Leo Dallas DeVries has a home runner at second base. Boy, he comes out of the bullpen and immediately gets going. Yeah, he sure does there, John. Really good indeed. Yep, for sure. Here is the left fielder, Albert Fabian. As he comes in, takes a strike, is in the count now, 0-1. Runner at second, nobody out. Midland leading this game by 3, 7-4 against San Antonio. So if you're wondering what score is there, well, your score is there. So the count now, 0-2. Well, so far, Corpus Christi has pink uniforms. And guessing they have a blood drive going on, or what is that all about? No, I don't know there, John, but evidently they have those uniforms, and Northwest Arkansas having I don't know what type of uniform that is, but evidently it's their new uniform, I guess. Yep, it's got a logo of Northwest Arkansas and what it represents. No balls, 1 strikes to Ethan Salas. That's going to be right there. Line drive. That's a base hit. And the run is in to score from second. And it's now back to a 2-run ball game.
The center fielder, number 14, Joshua.
Boy, Salas came through. Really good indeed. And that'll bring up Joshua Mears. Mears coming in, ready to go. And the pitch.
Nope.
That one is outside. 1 ball and no strikes to him. He was 3 for 3, a home run, a single RBI. So far, pretty good for him. 1 ball, no strikes to Mears. And that's going to be crushed. That one is high. That one's got a chance, and it gets down. And it will dance on the fence. And there's another run in to score. So now they are trailing 1 run against Midland. And the score is 7-6. Wow, and that was a pretty phenomenal run right there, John. He really had that. And now 2 runs in for San Antonio in this ball game. That is pretty good. Yeah, it sure is. And that one is driven. That one deep. Where is it going? It is fair. All right. Marcos Castañon gets a 2-run shot. Fair ball indeed. And it's now 8-7, and San Antonio comes in and takes the lead from Midland. And that was just a fair ball. But 4 runs given up to this reliever. And so far, that's going to do for him as he's been tossed out of this ball game by the manager.
For the Rockhounds.
And that'll bring up the right-hander, Tanner Dodson, as he'll come in. The 4-seam slider, curveball, and a 2-seam fastball will pitch for Midland. Now here is right fielder Jacob Campbell as he comes in. And pitch. That is down and inside for a cold strike. And it's the count now at 0-1 to the right fielder, Campbell. Single, 1 for 3 of the afternoon. And that one's going to be high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Weisenberger and Tomioka warming up in the Rockhounds bullpen. So far, going to be a pretty good day today for any one of these two teams, San Antonio or Midland. But if the Rockhounds lose this one, then pretty much they'll be trailing San Antonio at least 5.5 games back. Well, right there, that will be out number 2. And that'll bring up Cole Roederer. 3 for 3, 3 doubles, and 2 runs. This ball game still a little ways from finishing up this afternoon. San Antonio 8, Midland 7. 4 runs here in this half inning for San Antonio. And so far, pretty good on that. Yeah, I got to say, John, it's been a really good ball game thus far. San Antonio's been trailing a lot during this broadcast. And that's going to get down. That's a base hit. 5th potential run.
Now batting, third baseman.
Now on first base.
Rojas.
And that'll bring up Yendry Rojas. That's going to be right there in the count now. 0-1. 1 for 3, single and a run. Just enjoyed our time here in Midland this week, and so far I'm going to miss doing this here in the good old Permian Basin after today. Well, John, I got to say, you've had a fun time in your hometown of Midland. Yep, I sure have. That one is a high pop-up, straight away to short. And that is out number 3. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. And 1 left for San Antonio. We head to the bottom of the 6th. And the San Antonio Missions lead Midland. It is 8-7. Swift, McGuiver, and Angeles will lead it off in the bottom of 6 when we come back. All right, we're about set to go for the bottom of the sixth right now for Midland and the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Bottom of six, Jagger Haynes getting set to go for his sixth inning of work. That's going to be high fly in the air and out of play. And the count now at 0-1. Still got a little bit of energy left, but evidently he might get back in there and try to get her going. That's going to be right there. Line drive. That's up to left center for a base hit. And that's going to be a no-out double. And so get the ball back in. But so far, it's been a real battle here in Midland. San Antonio and the Rockhounds have really put in a lot of runs today. Yeah, they sure have, John, and it's a make-or-break situation for Midland. If they could try to win this one today, then they'll pretty much get into that 42nd win, and they'll lead 2.5 against Frisco, and they'll beat 2.5 against San Antonio, too. They're trailing the Missions right now.
No balls, 2 strikes.
And so far as we look at it, that Midland now 3.5 games. Well, 4.5, I should say. I do apologize about that. I stand corrected. John is telling me 4.5. But if Midland could get in here today and win the ball game, they could pretty much push it to a 3.5 trail against San Antonio. Now, that is for sure, Bob. Right there, called third strike. And that's the 6th strikeout for Jagger Haynes today. Here is Irabel Angeles as he leads it off 1 for 2, RBI double in the 4th. 73 pitches by Jagger Haynes. Takes a strike inside, the count now at 0-1. Well, so far it's almost a 4 o'clock hour, and yep, Corpus Christi and Northwest Arkansas set to go in this little bit. And that's going to be right there. Intercepted by shortstop DeVries. And they're 2 down.
Second baseman, Colby Halter.
Colby Halter coming in now. 1 for 3, home run and RBI by him here today. And we're going to have a quick pitching change here. As here comes the manager. That's going to do for the starter, Jagger Haynes. As he'll finish this one strong. And yes, he will. He'll get her pretty much going in that one. Well, Omar Cruz, the left-hander, getting in. As he'll get things going here for San Antonio. Boy, people out in San Antonio getting some rain this afternoon. Evidently, we are supposed to be back Tuesday through Thursday to take on Corpus Christi. Right back to the mound as Cruz flipped the first to Castañon, and they easily get him. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on for Midland. We're the top half of the 7th inning. San Antonio leading this game 8-7 here in this one. So we'll be right back as we bring you the top of the 7th inning coming up from Franco Park, Midland, Texas. It's San Antonio 8, Midland 7 here in this ball game. All right, top half of the seventh inning set to go for Midland, or for San Antonio, right here from Midland, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Yeah, good one, Bob. But anyway, we lead off the top of seven, and Jack Weisenberger getting the call on the heel for the Rockhounds, as he'll be pitching in the top of the seventh inning for the Midland Rockhounds. The four-seam slider and a two-seam fastball.
San Antonio, the second baseman.
Here is Nerwillian Cedeno as he'll lead it off. 8-9-1 due up against Jack Weisenberger. That one hit foul, and the count now 0-1. Boy, Corpus Christi now underway of their last game against Northwest Arkansas. And that's going to be a pitch in there, and the count now 0-2. Boy, a lot of cloud cover there at Bayfront Park, which San Antonio will be there by this next weekend. There in Corpus Christi. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that is outside. And the count now 2-2. Could have been an easily get a balk on the first base. And that is ball 3, so the count now 3-2. Shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries on deck now. And that's going to be a liner. That's going to be straight up the middle. Not in time, as that will be a infield single. So now San Antonio's second potential run, just first base on for San Antonio. And yep, that was right in time. What a great shot by the camera at first base. And now Leo Dallas DeVries will come in, takes a ball high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 for 3, double. San Antonio in favor of this ball game. It's 8-7 here in the top of the seventh. That one high and outside, the count now 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes to Leo Dallas DeVries. And the pitch. Swing and a miss right there. The count now 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Boy, it is now the bottom half of the second inning for Corpus Christi, and they lead 3-0 against Northwest Arkansas. Surprisingly, a good game is always the best game. That's going to be right there. The second for 1, and they get them both. Taco Villa double play, and that will do it. And speaking of, we do have a injury, and it looked like Nerwillian Cedeno took a nasty shot that time directly on the shin bone. It likely isn't broken, but still there is a good deal of pain. Cedeno will be removed from this ball game and may need a day or two before returning to 100%. So the next batter is going to come up.
Number 30,
Albert Fabian will play the left fielder. So Fabian is pretty good and stuff. Nerwillian Cedeno being forced out of this game now, starting his 2 days, as they will get him going on the hospital. Athletic trainers looking at him. Medics also looking at him as well. That one's going to be high fly, deep to center, and that's got a chance. It's gone. Left fielder Fabian puts one over the wall, and now it's the opposite. San Antonio now leading this game by 2. Top of the 7th inning, it's now 9-7. Corpus Christi leading 4-0 against Northwest Arkansas, and boy, they are doing pretty good. The Hooks have been down badly this year. And so far, they needed a little momentum. Win number 26 is in reach for Corpus Christi today if they win against Northwest Arkansas.
Nope.
So far, pretty good on that one. Well, so far we look at Springfield now being 45-30, with Wichita now on the tail by 5.5 games to the first place in the North Division. Springfield holding that first place position, and they are doing it pretty good. They're like San Antonio holding it first in the South Division. Well, right there, that's a play made, and so far that will do it. So a run in to score by Albert Fabian, and we are into the final stretch inning here in San Antonio, or should I say Midland? I do apologize. Midland is getting going.
Now playing second base.
And now playing second base is Romeo Sanabria. Coming in for San Antonio as they'll cover the second base area for Nerwillian Cedeno, but we do keep him in prayers today as we get going for the bottom of 7.
Nope, that's a ball.
And that's a ball down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. We thank y'all for having the best 7th inning stretch there is, and we are underway of the bottom of inning number 7. That is right there and now to play, and the count now at 1-1. San Antonio leading 2 runs against Midland, 9-7. Bottom of 7 for the Rockhounds. They're down to their final 9 outs, I would say. But that's going to be right there, line drive. That's a base hit. And that's going to be the 8th potential run for Midland as they will get going in this one. So, anyway, got to say, Rockhounds trying to get back in this ball game. They need a 2-run shot to win. Well, not win, but tie it up. And that's going to be right there. Ground ball to DeVries, right there to Castagnon. They get him. And there's 1 down.
Now batting, the left fielder.
Well, the left fielder is Caden Trinkle. 1 for 3 triple last time up. Great home crowd here on this Sunday afternoon, the final game of this series. And that is out of play. The count now 0-1. It'll be San Antonio's last ever time here in Midland. I do apologize if I called Midland San Antonio earlier onward, but anyway, I think it's been a long week. We've been stuttering through this ball game like nothing else. Well, that's okay, John. I do it all the time, too. Yeah, right. Caden Trinkle coming in. 0-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Right there, down and out. And that is out number 2.
Now batting.
Trinkle now down for out number 2. And here's designated hitter Nick Schwartz, who flied out in the second, is 0 for 3. Don't forget, 3 more games, and we are pretty much on a 9-day, or should I say, it will be 12 days being gone. But evidently, we will definitely watch our San Antonio boys up in Corpus Christi and Wichita as well. First half will conclude after the last game in Wichita on that last Sunday. That right there, the count now 0-2. Missions are back home. They take on Amarillo, 3-game set against the Sod Poodles on Friday, July 18th. And so far, that will go till Sunday, July 21st. And then it'll be the 23rd coming and taking on a 6-game set against Midland. Well, that will do for this half inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left for the Rockhounds. It's top of the 8th inning. San Antonio leading 2 today. It's 9-7. Well, we're back here as we get ready to go for the 8th inning. And it is a 2-run lead for San Antonio. 9-7 our score as we go to the 8th. Top half of the 8th inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, as we get set to go for the top of the 8th inning here in Midland, we'll give you a score update. Corpus Christi leading now 7-0 against Northwest Arkansas. 3-run shot, and it is a big lead for Corpus Christi. Now pitching Cruz Norega, as he'll come in to pitch for Northwest Arkansas. Boy, Naturals in their dark royals. You know, tell you one thing, Northwest Arkansas has that purple and white letter N on their cap, which it kind of reminds me of their old logo. And look, it was a lightning bolt N. Purple and white type in. And so far, that looks pretty good. Well, anyway, Tulsa and Frisco will start in just a little bit. And so far, they're going to play their last game against the Tulsa Drillers. Well, leading off the top of the 8th inning is somebody, but evidently we are going to get going as a right-hander. Stevie Emanuels will get the call for Midland before we announce our first batter for the 8th. That is center fielder Joshua Mears, 4 for 4, home run, single, 2 RBIs, 2 runs here today for San Antonio. Down to the final 2 innings of today. That's a swing and a miss right there, slider, and the count now 0-1. Mears, it's a triple shy of the cycle, and so far pretty good. He takes strike 2, and the count now 0-2. Corpus Christi 7, Northwest Arkansas 0. They're in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. 9,922 in today's game here. That one popped foul. The count now at 1-2. It's a beautiful day for baseball, and so far, simply love coming out to a ball game and enjoying our live streams, our broadcast, and we just thank everybody here today that came out to a ball game. Don't forget that we are taking on Amarillo. Midland and Sod Poodles will converge what is left of 3 games. San Antonio and Corpus Christi will take on 3 and then switch around. Corpus Christi and San Antonio Well, Bayfront Park and stuff is beautiful. But anyway, down and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike to Marcos Castañon. Here's pitch, and that's going to be right there, and that is out number 2.
Now batting, number 7.
That'll bring up number 7, and that is right fielder Jacob Campbell. 1 for 4, a single. Boy, Corpus Christi now has runner in scoring position at second. 2 away, and they lead on that one. Boy, that one's going to be high fly, and they got both of them in the home. And now it's a 9-0 ball game for Corpus Christi. They're beating up Northwest Arkansas early on, still the bottom of the second inning. And, boy, tell you one thing, it's going to be a high scorer, I think. Corpus Christi trying to get going for a 26th win of the season. And if they keep this up, getting home runs, they'll get that for sure. That's right there, liner straightaway center, and that's going to fall down into center field for a base hit.
Now batting, designated hitter Cole.
Well, now Tulsa and Frisco about ready to go this evening. And, yep, they are about ready to go at a 6:05 start. We are this close to the 6 o'clock hour today. Designated hitter Cole Roederer stands in. And the pitch. That one fouled off, and the count now 0-2. Well, we're 3 games at home with Corpus Christi, and then it's off to Corpus Christi. And then, as I said, we are wrapping up the first half in Wichita. Well, we are 8.5 done this afternoon. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left as we're 8.5. San Antonio now leading 9-7. We're back as Henry Bolt comes in as we get ready to go on this afternoon. About set to go for the bottom of the 8th inning for Midland right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Henry Bolt's coming in. Omar Cruz now 11 pitches in. Starts his 2nd inning of work. And that's a ball down and in. Nearly broke the plane. 1 ball, no strikes to Bolt. 9-7 our score. That one driven up nicely, deep to center field. Joshua Mears getting after it and makes the play. And there is 1 down. Well, Norwellian Cedeno is pretty much headed off to the medical facility here in Midland. Drew Swift, third baseman, 3-for-3, comes in for the Rockhounds with a double, 2 singles, and 2 runs in today for Midland. That is right there and in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Tying run on the on-deck circle. Boy, it is now the top of the 3rd. And Campbell will miss that one. And that's going to be a runner up to 3rd now. And that's a 1-out triple to Drew Swift. Man, that's rough when you think about it. And surely it's got a precision blow right there as right fielder Campbell took quite a tumble. And Willie McIver coming in. Yep. Next batter up for Midland. And he'll take a strike inside. The count now 0-1. Well, just got to say that Midland now has the tying run up at the plate. That's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And that's going to be right there. And across the score is Willie McIver bringing in an RBI single, and they are trailing by 1.
Now batting.
Urabel Angeles, the shortstop. 1-for-3, RBI double in the 4th. Coming in for Midland. And the pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, it's our big off day tomorrow. San Antonio will head home to take on Corpus Christi. And that's going to be right there and out of play. The count now at 1-1. So far, Midland stays home to take on Amarillo, which that is pretty nice. Rockhounds and Sod Poodles. That one, high fly in the air. Castagnon has it, and that is out number 2.
Now batting.
Don't forget that 3 games set in Amarillo, then thinking we need to see where there also is. I do believe they are, say, July 8th. Okay, so they are July 8th. Taking on Northwest Arkansas. So July 18th will be our second half of the regular season, which that is San Antonio taking on Amarillo. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2 down. In a 1-run ball game. And a pitch. And that is pop foul. The count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And that's going to be a balk. Oh my goodness. So that's going to put the runner in scoring position now. And he does not like that. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is high fly in the air, up to right field, and that's out number 3. But evidently the balk does no damage at all, so that was a good thing. And we are now down to our last inning of play here this afternoon. San Antonio leads by a run. It's 9-8 in this broadcast. Well, that'll bring up a right-hander as he'll come in. Rojas, Sanabria, and DeVries will get ready to go in the 9th inning. Well, it's top of the 3rd inning as Corpus Christi now leading Northwest Arkansas 9-2 in that broadcast, which that is pretty good. One more inning here in Midland as we get ready to go for the Rockhounds taking on San Antonio for the last time of the first half here today. Well, Texas League baseball fans, Midland taking on the Amarillo Soccer through the 3rd of July, and then it'll be ready to take on Amarillo in Water Ridge Field there in downtown Amarillo. So, gotta say, pretty good as we start next week, and we have 2 more weeks of the first half, and we are good to go. Yep, that is for sure, Bob. And so far, we are super excited that we're coming at you live for the top of the 9th inning for San Antonio. Right fielder, knock on wood. I wish he was a right fielder. Shunhei Tomokioka coming in now. 4-seam sliders, splitter, and a knuckle curve coming in for the Japan native of Tomokioka. And a single and a run, 1 for 4. Long way from home, all the way from Okinawa, Japan, which my sister-in-law served in the military as a nurse's medic. But anyway, for the Army, that's pretty good as well, that she's a medic in the Army. Yendry Rojas in now, and here's the pitch. That one is a ball, and the count now 1-1. Well, anyway, 3 balks for San Antonio, but 2 of those put in the run. And that's a ball and in, and the count now 2-1. Well, we got Arkansas and Amarillo fixing to go, and so far, Tulsa and Frisco going at it. Northwest Arkansas and Corpus Christi going at it. So far, these 2 ball clubs ready to wrap up in just a little bit.
Second baseman, Romeo Sanabria.
Well, that'll bring up the second baseman, Romeo Sanabria, as he'll take a ball or a cold strike. Sanabria will play the second base area for Norwillian Cedeno. Cedeno will be out tomorrow and Tuesday. And so far, on the injured list, it looks, but hopefully nothing is broken. And we will definitely stay on prayers on that. Boy, a lot of loud motorcycles going past the ballpark today. And they are loud. Leo Dallas DeVries, 1 for 4. He had a double. 2 outs, and this will be San Antonio's last out here for this ball game. That is Leo Dallas DeVries taking that one in for a strike. The count now at 0-1. Last game in the first half for these 2 ball clubs until they'll meet up 6 more times in the second half there in San Antonio, which that will be pretty good. Missions will get ready to start a 6 in Frisco. then come back, take on Springfield, and go on the road, take on Tulsa, then come back, take on Amarillo for a 6-game homestand there in San Antonio. Then it'll be going back to Frisco. One more homestand of the year for San Antonio and Corpus Christi. And then it is off to Springfield to wrap up the end of the 2025 campaign. Which that means we'll have our schedule of 2026 being announced latter part of August, which that would be pretty good. That one high fly in the air, and that will do for the half inning is over. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio. And we're down to the bottom of the 9th inning, and it is a 1-run ball game. So 3 chances. Nankill, Kurtz, and Trinkle try to tie it up and try to win it as we get ready to go to the bottom of 9 for Midland when we come back. Bottom half of the ninth inning set to go for Midland right here in the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Well, anyway, Nate Nankill getting ready to go for Midland. Tying run at the plate, winning run on deck. Here's pitch right there, swing and a miss. The count now 0-1. Ninth inning underway here in Midland. Last ever meetup of the first half of these two ball clubs. At least for a little while. I mean, we'll meet each other in San Antonio and so far start the second half coming pretty good. That is out number one as Nankill goes down
now batting, the first
on a strikeout. Nick Kurtz coming in as he'll lead it for the Rockhounds. And that will be an inside for the count now 0-1. Final 2 outs of the broadcast coming in, and that's going to be right there. Line drive, that's a base hit. And oh, golly, where am I going to find my own words? But anyway, a 2-run shot would win it for Midland. And that's what they need to get in there and win this one. Caden Trinkle coming in now as he'll try to walk it off here. That is high in the air up to center. And that will pretty much be the out. So 2 down. 1 more to go for San Antonio to take the game and to get their 45th of the season. Nick Schwartz coming in, 0 for 4, strikeout and 2 flyouts. Coming in now for Midland, last one of the ball game. Coming in, and it takes a strike inside, the count now at 0-1. Corpus Christi leading now 11-2 against Northwest Arkansas. We're getting a score up in Amarillo now. It's 2-0 against the Sod Poodles. Arkansas leading that 2-run lead for their side against Amarillo. Here's a 1-1, and that is pop foul. The count now 1-2. Down to the final strike here in this ball game. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right there, and that gets through. That's a base hit. So 2-1, 2 out, and Midland trying to make a little push here, and they're doing it. They really got to figure a way to get a winning run home and to celebrate this afternoon and series finale. Pretty good. Here is Henry Bolt. That is right there. Rojas, get it going, and that's the ball game. San Antonio winning their 45th of the season. And so far, they are celebrating this joyous time of their win here in Midland. Well, boys, off to going home, and we take on Corpus Christi. San Antonio now 45. Midland 41-35 here today. Still too early to call on the last 6 ball clubs that are going on right now. So our final score, 9-8 for the San Antonio Missions here today as they claim Game 6 of the 6-game set. Well, a perfectly good afternoon for this ball club, and so far this will be the last time we see Midland until the second half. And that will pretty much do it for our big, huge broadcast here today. Well, 2 hours and 48 minutes our live stream coverage here in Midland, Texas. Well, anyway, let's go over runs, hits, and errors first for the victorious San Antonio Missions here in Game 6. 9 runs, 19 hits, no errors for San Antonio. For Midland, 8 runs, 15 hits, no errors. And boy, what a game that was. Joshua Mears, player of the game, 4 for 5, home run and 2 doubles. Winner on the hill is Jagger Haynes. Stayed in 5 and 2 innings. Gave up 11 hits, struck out 6, and gave up 7 runs. Those are 7 earned run averages. Ben Bowden gets the loss for Midland. And so far, that will pretty much do for the day and for the week here in Midland. Well, anyway, Springfield and Wichita just concluded their ball game. And so far, they get going. And they finished. So Wichita wins against Springfield in Game 6. There at the porch, it is Wichita 7, Springfield 4. That is the final there in Wichita, Kansas. Pretty good as ball game concludes, and so far we are going home to San Antonio, Bob. Yeah, I gotta say, short 3-game set against Corpus Christi, and so far gonna be pretty nice. Yep, it sure is. A leadoff 3 in Corpus Christi after that Thursday night ball game, so we will have only one flying chancla night, and that will be the last flying chancla night for the first half for San Antonio, which that will be pretty good as well. Then Friday, we head to Corpus Christi. We spend the weekend there, and then the following Tuesday through Sunday, we're up in Kansas taking on the Wind Surge. And so far, Ben Gelman will lead 9 games in broadcasting. So that will also be good as well. Anyway, for all of us, our final score, San Antonio 9, Midland 8. On this Sunday afternoon here in the Permian Basin. Now, if we did a lot of stuttering, well, we do apologize about that. It's probably been a long week, and we're just ready to have our off day tomorrow. And we're just super happy that we are pretty much done. So, good thing about it, we're done for the week. And we just cannot wait to come back on Tuesday when we are live against Corpus Christi, Tuesday through Thursday, for a last 3-game set that Bob and I will be a part of for the first half. Ben Gelman will be in Corpus Christi and Wichita as well. So he'll get to travel along with the group to their locations. And so far, Bob, you and I will be off. We're pretty much on vacation after that. Yeah, I got to say, for a whole week, 12 days, that's pretty great. Yeah, it will be. So, what do you want to do? You want to go do something fun, or are you just going to chill at home with your wife? Well, probably just going to chill at home with my wife because she's going to need me and stuff. And, well, so far, just got to say, hey, it's going to be a pretty good day after July 3rd. Don't forget that everybody that has a homestand, July 1st through the 3rd, everybody will have fireworks. We are celebrating Independence Day, and so far going to be the best Independence Day, hopefully as humanly possible, as we all look at it. But anyway, got to say today was fun. San Antonio winning in a 2-game win streak now, which that is pretty good. They won last night 5-3, and they win by 1 here today, final 9-8. Well, kids are running the bases right now. And so far, Bob and I are doing our pregame show, and so far after game show of today's game. And so far pretty good on that. Well, anyway, we have had a fun day. It's been a great day thus far, and hopefully 3 more games will do us for the first half. And so far, going to be pretty good. Well, anyway, this will just about do us here for Texas League Baseball. And so far, we're super happy that y'all have joined us here today. Well, anyway, final score, one more time. San Antonio 9, Rockhounds 8. And this has been Rockhounds Baseball. For all of us, have a good off day tomorrow. And we will see y'all again on Tuesday.